Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions. Live from Los Angeles.
10 days.
It's time for the main
When that thing is?
Yes, for his decision he has to make.
We'll
Should have done this right before the show.
No problem. We'll get to that. Welcome to the PorterWay Podcast. We're here at the spacelv.com. You guys need a studio. You guys looking to do some shooting, anything like that, reach out to the space. Beautiful studio that we're in right now, as you guys have been able to see for some time. They got a couple of other nice rooms in here as well. So go on over to the spacelv.com if you guys need some space. All that being said, Shawn Zatel, welcome in, big dog. You made it.
Aura list this week.
Yeah, I was going to say some of your hair didn't make it, yeah.
I know, it'll look good in a couple weeks.
Don't trip. We thought we was going to let that go.
Yeah. No. Let's get it out. Let's get it out the way right away. Yeah.
And
Mama said I look handsome though.
Oh, man, nothing, man. I seen y'all hold it down. You had a beautiful show last week. I was impressed.
Oh, it was you?
Yeah, great location. It was at the space. I like how y'all switched up the space and changed the whole setup.
We had to do what we had to do.
Okay.
Had to do what we had to do.
There's something missing to the show though, Antt. Something.
Yeah, you.
No, you.
No,
It was you.
that was
It was you, sir.
there was a lot of energy in the room. Yeah. Shoo and Paulie brings the energy.
Yeah.
And obviously we got the knowledge. We got the experience.
Shout out to Paulie, man. He came through, man. I'll leave it at that, man. He came through. I was not having a big relationship with Paulie. Mm-hmm. Working with him now for I think right around a year with ProBox TV. But prior to ProBox, there wasn't much conversation, wasn't much communication. You know, if we happen to see each other out, we would say what's up, but that was maybe once or twice. You know what I mean? So just overall, you know, the experience I got from being able to do business with Paulie, of course doing shows with Paulie, he has he's pleasantly surprised me and continues to kind of one up himself in terms of who he is as an individual. So I really just want to salute Paulie Malignaggi for being who he is. Go over to our Patreon, and you guys should already know it's .com. It's the app TPWP. I guarantee you the interview that I have on there with Paulie Malignaggi is worth every bit of your time and whatever it is you decide to subscribe to. Is worth every bit of it, man. He dropped gem after gem and really told us how he became the Magic Man. He actually told us how he became the Magic Man, but just ultimately it really is unique and magical for the sake of words.
He had to brawl Antonio Tarver in the back alley and they fought to a draw and decided, okay, we're both the Magic Man.
I don't know.
Is that how that went?
What?
No,
What?
he would lost.
That's
that.
all I always thought. Sorry, go ahead.
No, but he just completely. It's just, man, you gotta go check it out. The Patreon, Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. Let me do this real quick. Nevada Boxing Hall, NVBHOF.com. All of the information on the 12th Gala is on there right now. The festivities start Thursday with the first annual Diego Chico Corrales amateur boxing tournament.
Yep.
They turned it into a tournament this year opposed to the 20 to 30, 35 to 40 matches they would have in one day. Instead, they're going to do a tournament style this year. It's an open tournament, but you need to have 10 or so fights in order to get in. If you don't have any fights, still sign up because they may be able to fit you in. I got some fighters over at the gym that I've been working at, training these kids. Got the amateur program going over there. We're gonna try to get some of those green guys in the tournament as well. No fights, but they can do it. So if you think you can do it and you ain't got no fights, still sign up anyway. But all of the information is over there. Friday, I'm super excited about Friday. More fights on Friday, but then we got the bowling at night, meet and greet with the fighters. And they're doing some different things over there. You get to play against us. You get to meet with us. All those different things. And I get to show off what I can do outside.
That's this Friday in Vegas with the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame.
Not this Friday. Okay. No, it's Friday.
The week of the events.
Yes, week of the events. So the events start August 8th, 9th, and 10th.
You'll be there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, been there every year.
Yeah.
Since inception. Yeah.
Perfect.
Bothering people like Shawn for interviews. Wow.
And then of course Saturday, the fights will commence Saturday morning. Those will be the championships of the tournament, the first annual Diego Corrales tournament, which will precede the Given Hour event that myself, Antt with 2 T's, and Shawn Zattel will be participating in. And also, of course, 2 or 3 of the winners of the Given Hour Foundation charity event that we put together. Going over there, it's classy.org/give/5822034. So listen, rewind it a little bit. Put on your closed caption so that you can see everything that I'm saying right now. We're gonna put it in We're gonna put it in the description as well. But again, classy.org/give/5822034. Go over there, read the fine print, sign up. We're gonna have a great time. You get 1 round of boxing, 1 professional round of boxing with me, and we're gonna have fun. And then of course these 2 guys, they're gonna get in the ring with me as well. I had some work to do. I got the work done.
I never officially agreed to it, but I guess it's what we're doing. Yeah, I guess that's what's happening. Yeah.
I keep thinking
No, I got all the gear.
We ain't signed no contracts. We agreed.
There's no contract.
The boxing.
Why would you sign a
supposed to get
contract?
checked by
Remember some of the rounds KP would have you work defense?
Yeah.
Just
That's
defense.
all we're gonna.
And I just throw
defense.
That's all it is.
The other guy works his offense. Yeah, let's do it like
That's
that.
how you
sign up for Vada?
Yeah.
You signed up for Vada? Because I'm not. So
Signed up with who?
Vada?
No, we don't do Vada no more.
Because I don't think I'm gonna make it. I might pop.
We don't do nothing.
I'm definitely popping for something. I don't know what. I don't know. I'm popping for something.
I don't believe that.
I don't even know what I'm popping for. I'll be honest with y'all. I'm popping for something.
Well, we want you guys to go on over there and donate and all the good stuff. Even if you don't want to participate, still donate. It's a beautiful foundation that's geared towards mental health, and you guys know how
Hey,
big.
why you shout out people? Shout out us.
Oh, I guess I should shout out the PorterWay.com. Going over to the PorterWay.com.
People ask where they get the merch at all the time.
Yeah. Say what?
People always ask them, where they get the merch at?
Yeah, tell them. You ain't even wearing it.
I am. Good timing.
Yeah, going
PorterWay
over
podcast on.
the PorterWay.com, and that's where all of our merchandise is at. And of course, if you sign up with the Patreon, you get some discounts on our
PorterWay.
on our merchandise. Excuse me.
Yeah, speaking of merch too, like people always ask, where'd you get the Felix Trinidad shirt or the Alexis Arguello shirt? It's at the Nevada Hall of Fame. So I know people always asking me about the boxing T-shirts I got. So that's a good.
One more thing for the Hall of Fame. So there's like 3 different tiers on there. They got the silver, the gold, and the ultimate. They got a couple of packages on there. So the more you spend, the closer you can be to us. And I know you guys probably should know who's going in this year, right? I know you guys love seeing us, love being around us. And there's no better opportunity than that Hall of Fame weekend. Mm-hmm. That's when everybody's like guard is down. Everybody's looking forward to the festivities and being celebrated. We expect to give the autographs. We expect to get the pictures. So some fighters you may have seen it, some that you may have seen in the past, they didn't want to do the autograph and the picture. This is a completely different energy. So this is the energy you want to be around, you want to participate in. Go on over nvbhof.com and check it all out. Inductees for 2003, Zab Judah, Marvin Camel, Timothy Bradley, Ann Wolf, Costa Zoo, Rafael Marquez, Michael Moore, Jorge Arce, Donald Curry, Lemon Brewster, Emil Griffin.
Ishe.
Ishe is coming in 2024.
20, okay.
Jacob Duran. As soon as I seen that name, I thought of you. And you know who Jacob Duran is? Stitch.
Yeah.
As soon as I thought I said, Ann don't know who the hell this is. I said, but as soon as I tell you.
Yeah, even if he came to me and said, I'm like, who the hell are you? I'd be say Stitch.
He's got a famous face.
He said, I'm Jacob. You said, no, you ain't. You Stitch.
Yeah.
A couple others. 2024, myself, Layla Carter. Met Carter, Ishe Smith, Jay Natty,
Jay Natty.
Mike Martino, Excuse me. So that's a few of the names right there. It's an eventful weekend, and I want you guys to come hang out, come celebrate with us. Of course, I'm excited to be getting inducted. What do you guys think? Should I get my Hall of Fame ring on my pinky?
So isn't that what mobsters used to do? So that'd be like your
shouldn't do that
your
then?
mafia ring.
No,
I mean it doesn't have to mean that.
I treat my family like I'm a mob, like I'm the boss.
I think we all do.
Get the pink.
I think we all do at the end of the day.
Still don't.
Yes, he do. At the end of the day, he says it's final.
No, you don't. Listen, man, we got a great couple of guests coming on right now. You guys have been paying attention to ProBox TV for a while. You know that they have been doing Wednesday night fights. I think twice a month. Right over there at ProBox TV. I know you guys love everything that you've been seeing with ProBox TV. Right now, we're gonna bring on the CEO of ProBox TV, and then we'll bring in the two fighters in the main event. The fight takes place next Friday. So we're doing Friday night fights, also in DC, and this will be their first World Championship fight on ProBox TV. So right now, we're excited to bring to the PorterWay Podcast. I'm losing his damn name, Garry. Excuse me. I want to bring to the PorterWay Podcast.
That's crazy.
I was like,
that's crazy.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. It's nice to see you. I don't think we've even shaken hands yet. So happy to meet the boss.
Well, it's nice to meet for the first time on your show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's everything?
Good. So how's everything going over there?
Yeah, it's going great. Listen, I gotta ask you though. How's everything going with ProBox TV? I know you had some really big goals when you started out, and just tell me where you think ProBox TV is now.
I think it's slow and steady. You know what I mean? I like to think of ourselves more like the turtle than the rabbit. And I feel like you've seen a lot of people come into boxing, Triller, Rock Nation. A lot of people come and go fast. And we decided we wanted to take it easy, go slow, and let it develop, right? And you build your product, right? And then you build your audience. And then eventually you monetize, but you can't rush. So I think we're growing in the right way. Boxing scene was a strong acquisition for us to build up the news.
Absolutely.
The talk show's been great. You guys have been doing great. You guys are getting millions and millions of views a month. So the brand is growing, and I think people appreciate the Wednesday night fights. It's evenly matched action fights. That's the theme. We've been grabbing fighters that have just not made it onto DAZN and ESPN and putting them in 50-50 fights against each other. And I think the fans have really appreciated it.
Absolutely. If you wouldn't mind, can we kind of go back a little bit? Paulie was telling me about the origin of ProBox TV. Would you mind telling that story? Or yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that I'll tell it. I'll try to make it short and sweet, but most people may or may not know I was partners with Mike Tyson back with Iron Mike Productions. And we had a nice 2-year run. We were growing quickly and doing some interesting things. We had Lubin, we had Sammy Vasquez Jr., Juan Carlos Payano, or Henny Mendez. And next thing you know, Waddell and Reed and Heyman Group announced they got funded and they bought all the television rights. So on one day, I got a call from Fox, Spike, Showtime, and ESPN saying, we're no longer going to be able to work with you guys unless you buy the time. So Mike Tyson and I had a quick conversation. We said, look, if we've lost TV, these guys got to fight. We're not going to get in the way of the fighters. And we agreed. I took 12 fighters over in one day over to Heyman's place. That's probably when you saw me a little bit, Shawn, hanging around the Heyman shows. I brought all those fighters over and we shut it down. But I kind of promised myself that if I come back, I'm coming back as a TV network. I'm not coming back as a promoter. I felt like TV has let boxing down, right? It's always been filler content, priorities, the NFL, the NBA. And I think that, that needed to change. So from my perspective, I decided to come back that way. So I waited it out. Sports streaming technology came of age, and then I decided to jump back in with ProBox TV, your boxing channel. And I'm enjoying being on the television side of it rather than the promotional side.
How did you put this world-class fighters together. Shawn Porter, Paulie Malignaggi, Tim Bradley. How did that come by? Who idea was that?
And the Spanish side too. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, look, I think boxing needed supporting content. That's why I call it the boxing channel, like the golf channel, the tennis channel, NBA TV. It needs more self-promotion in news and talk show, like what you guys are doing now. And so, for me, it was logical. Let's get a daily talk show. Let's hit it hard. Let's do it in studio. Let's give it some polish and do it right. Compare it. Try to reach the levels of the NBA and the NFL. That's what the U.S. or American sports fan is used to. That's the standard. Boxing's got to start to reach that standard. So the next thing was logical. I mean, when you're talking about Shawn, I mean, he's well-spoken, right? He's in the prime of his career. He's up and coming as a commentator and a personality. Fans love him. They want to hear from Shawn. They want to hear from Paulie. They want to hear from Chris. So I just took it upon myself. I think I have the opinion that I know these commentators and know what the fans like and know who will make the best commentators and talk show opinion hosts. And so, I reached out to them and, thankfully they all agreed.
absolutely.
And we came to terms. But yeah, to me, it was a logical choice.
Yeah, go ahead, Zach.
Garry, just watching ProBox TV, it feels very inspired by kind of the best in studio segments of when Brian Kenny, Max Kellerman, and those guys would do Friday night fights, and definitely has like that Friday night fights feel. And it's interesting in 2024. You see Pat McAfee kind of taking the YouTube mold to television and talking heads outside of ESPN. It looks a lot different now. It looks like streamers and influencers, but ProBox TV kind of has that traditionalism to it where, like I said, McAfee is bringing YouTube to TV. This is more like bringing TV quality production to YouTube. And just ultimately, like, how much of that is the vision and what is the bigger vision? And do you want to just kind of fill that vacuum that Friday night fights and now ShowBox has left behind? Or ultimately, do you want to do bigger scale fights and just everything there, Garry?
That's a great question. I think that originally when people started streaming, they were doing it and they were lucky. I mean, it's fortunate that people are able to do it without a massive production. They're able to do it out of their home, their living room, and it gave an opportunity to a lot of creators to do things. But at the same time, we knew it was going to evolve to where streaming is just the way TV's delivered. That's just the way it's going to be delivered. Everybody's cutting the cord. So now you're seeing DAZN is streaming, but DAZN looks more like ESPN, right? And then ESPN Plus shows up. So streaming is just going to be the way TV is delivered. And so we came at it with wanting to approach it from a studio setting. It's just to set that bar as being major league production. Mm-hmm. And that's what the sports fans used to. So that really was the impetus. Now, it's your question about where does it end? No, we plan to step to contender level fights soon. And then we plan to step to championship level fights. There's no reason not to take it all the way up the ladder. You got to build it slowly. When DAZN came in and they signed Canelo, a $365 million deal, and they signed Golovkin, those of us in the know in the industry know that Bob Arum and Al Heyman just laughed. They said, who are they going to fight? Mm-hmm. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? You can say, I want to step to championship boxing or contender level fights, but you got to have the fighters and you got to have someone for them to fight.
Yep.
So Canelo ended up fighting, a bunch of guys from the UK for like the first 2 years. Yep. And that doesn't cut it. So you got to grow it slowly. And so we've done a good job now. We've got some good recruits and we're going to continue to move up that ladder as far as the talent's concerned. But again, it also is that we're doing it very differently. I don't give the shows to promoters. Everyone traditionally in TV relied on the promoter. Mm-hmm. So when I was a promoter, I was trying to get dates from Showtime and ESPN. And we all call it getting dates.
Right.
I don't get dates.
Right.
We have the background to be able to make really good fights. Mm-hmm. I work with promoters and I work with managers, but I tell them, no, I'm not giving you the date. You bring your fighter, and I'm going to match him with somebody that I want to match him with. And I'm going to control the quality for the fans. So, and as soon as you give that show to your promoter or a promoter, that you're in conflict. The promoter's not worried about the fan. The promoter's worried about his fighter winning.
Mm-hmm.
And like Shawn and Paulie, Chris, they all know, I don't even go in the ring.
Yeah.
I don't care who wins. The fan has to win.
Yeah.
I go to the show knowing that this is a 50-50 fight and it's an action fight. And I work real hard to make sure of it. And I kind of laugh when I see the coaches and the managers and everybody's biting their nails and they're real nervous. But that's our job. And if I know the managers and the promoters are nervous, I know the fans are entertained.
Absolutely.
So
Listen,
it is a change in boxing because in the past, all the promoters want to do is make sure their fighter won. Yeah. Well, inevitably, that conflict of interest makes it a bad product for the fan. So we're going to step to contender level next year, where we start raising the purses and start spending, serious, decent money on guys in the top 10 fighting each other. That costs more money. I'll call that contender level, right?
Yeah.
And then we're going to step to championship, but we got to grow into that slowly.
Well, seeing the next fight that you have coming up on Friday night, Lamont Roach versus
Figueroa McCory.
McCory, excuse me. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
That is a championship fight. So, take us through that fight. How did that fight come about? And you're moving from Florida to DC for this one, correct?
Yeah. So we're just, that was an opportunity. Look, I think that we're testing the waters. I want to see how the team does. I want to see how the machine operates. In the end of the day, you can have all the great ideas in the world, but you got to execute. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to force it down my team's throat one day. So we're going to start picking up opportunities to put on bigger and better fights out of town in arenas and do a bigger production. And again, I'm the turtle. We're going to take it slow and just make sure we get it right. So, it's funny, Shawn, Lamont Senior and Junior kind of remind me of you and your father. They're serious people, right? They're no joke. The father really knows what he's doing. He's a businessman. The son is very disciplined, and they take their stuff very seriously. And they came to me and said, look, we don't want to sell out to a promoter. We'd like to stay on our own. We want to be independent.
Yeah.
But we don't have TV. And I said, all right, well, let's get something together. So it's really about Lamont Senior's the promoter and Lamont Jr. and they want to do it their way, and I respect that. So from that perspective, we got together. They said, well, I want to do it in DC. It's like, well, we have our own network. You can do it wherever you want. Well, I want to do it on this date. I said, you can do whatever date you want. We don't have the restrictions of networks.
Yeah.
Right? We have total flexibility to do it what we want, when we want. Those are mild little things that people overlook, but it makes a difference to the business side.
Absolutely.
So sure enough, that's how that came about. And look, we're putting just a really good Wednesday night fight card underneath Lamont and Fergal.
Nice.
But it's going to come off. I mean, we spent a little more on that co-main event with Lester Martinez and Carlos Gongora, just to make sure we give that show a little extra that it deserves.
Yeah.
So we went big on that one. And then Dilmangani and Tellez is going to be a barn burner. So you've got Dilmangani Tellez is really a main event on Wednesday Night Fight. And that's the opener, so to speak, on this show. And then Lester Martinez was the WBC Prospect of the Year, 17-0, a hell of a fighter at 168. And he's going against a proven guy who's been considered one of the contenders in the division for a while in Gongora. And those are going to be two evenly matched action fights, burners. And then comes Lamont, defending his belt and at home, his first title defense. It's an optional. Some people might say that's not so much a 50-50 fight. But Shawn, I think Elijah Garcia was a big favorite against Kyron Davis last week.
Yeah, buddy.
I think Russell was a big favorite against Puello last week.
Yeah.
I think Matias was a big favorite against Parra last week.
Yeah.
So people shouldn't sleep on Fergal McCrory. He's a tough Irish kid, 16-0. He's never lost. Those guys who've never lost, sometimes they're stubborn about finally taking their first loss.
Yeah.
So, and I think the fight's going to be stylistically fun. I think the Irish kid's going to come out gunning. And for as long as it lasts, it's going to be entertaining. That's for sure.
Yeah, when I looked at the main event fight, I've known Lamont for some time, and having a look at McCory, it really didn't look to me like the for the sake of words, typical Wednesday night ProBox TV fight. Both guys going back and forth. This is a war from top to bottom, and everybody is excited and pleased because they saw blood all night. But this one stylistically, I think, has the makings to be a really good championship fight. Did you consider that at all when you made this fight? Like, hey, this doesn't look like a typical ProBox TV fight, or was it just, hey, we have an opportunity here to help another fighter, and it's a championship fight? Kind of take us through what you went through as a promoter making this fight.
Yeah, I think that, Lamont basically senior said, look, it's his first title defense. It's a voluntary. He's coming home. We'd like him to be able to, take one that may not be as dangerous.
Sure.
And I said, look, obviously that's the way boxing is. You got that right. I'll support it with a couple 50-50 bangers, but let me choose that fighter. Let me make sure that I'm bringing somebody in that I know is going to bring the action. At least stylistically, let's set this up where got an undefeated Irish kid who we know is going to come hard and go for it. And, and then we'll let the chips fall where they may. So, like I said, on paper, it may not be 50-50. But like I said, last week proved that on paper doesn't always pan out. And I think stylistically, the fight's going to be very entertaining.
Garry, Jonas, everybody from ProBox TV, just stay right there. We want to bring Lamont Roach in, the champion, coming to the PorterWay Podcast. Welcome, Lamont Roach.
What's up, guys? Y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir. We got you.
What's up, Lamont?
How you doing?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Doing great,
Good, man. Good to see you.
You're a good 5-6 days away from this fight, man. How we feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. One more point. I know I'm in shape. I'm in dynamite shape, honestly, for real. And I'm just ready to go.
Lamont, man, I was at that fight where you won the title against Hector Garcia, Benavidez Andrade undercard, and you had a little bit more edge to you than Garcia did. You wanted that fight more. I mean, on top of all the technical stuff you did with your right hand against the southpaw, but it was just obvious that, you were very hungry that night to become champion, and of course you won the title. In this fight where sometimes it could be looked at as a speed trap fight. It's a guy who probably hasn't fought in the United States, doesn't have the experience you have with 16 fights, but he's undefeated and he's hungry. I think an Irish kid just upset Cordina, Anthony Cacace, and so, where are you leaning more towards? Where, like we saw Espinoza over the weekend, where they say a champion gets better by 50%. You get 50% better as a champion than you did as a challenger. Or you think we see more of that? Or how do you avoid letting this be a speed trap fight where you're overlooking Fear Gold McCory a little bit?
I mean, I'm on the getting better side for sure. I'm still as hungry as I was fighting Hector, man. I'm the champion now, but I'm still not where I want to be. I'm not satisfied. All that was when I got the belt was gratification, and I was overwhelmed with joy. But when it's all settled in, it's just like, all right, now you got more to do. So I think this is the first stepping stone to proving that, because in my last fight, I wasn't actually, because, it takes two in there sometimes. It takes two. Obviously, we thought Hector was going to come out there and, rumble his ass off, honestly. And, that wasn't really the case. It was more of a technical fight. And I know he's not better than me on every aspect. I know he wasn't better than me in every aspect in the ring. But it just made for a lackluster for some fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people appreciate it, some people don't. Whatever the case may be, I know that Fergal is, hard-nosed, head down, coming straight at me and wanting to take what's mine. And he's young. Well, he's not younger than me, but he's undefeated. And, I've been in that position before. Title challenger, undefeated. On the B side. So, You know what I'm saying? I know what's at stake, and I know this is one of the shots to catapult my career.
Lamont, you've always, tell me if I'm right or I'm wrong, but you've always struck me as the kind of fighter that you kind of need your like Coach was saying last week, need your buttons pushed a little bit. Is that am I right in feeling that way? You kind of need somebody to come after you to kind of turn you on and get you into your rhythm, and is that what you guys are looking for from Figo?
Not really. It can help. It definitely can help, but I don't think so. After the Jamel fight, it was just like, it's just been a switch that's just been turned on. It's just like, no matter what, I got to get to it, and I'm always going to perform. So whatever the case may be, I'm going to go get it. I'm going to get after it for sure.
What did you learn from that first championship fight with Jamel Harrington that got you to this point and being world champion?
That they aren't going to give me anything. Got to go take it. I started late that fight. We knew that we weren't going to get a decision on the cards, or at least a close one. Top Rank show. We was with Golden Boy. Top Rank show. He's the champ. The weekend catering to his his career outside of boxing and stuff like that. Big story on him. Everything like that is just Jamel, everything. And then you have the challenger, me. You know what I'm saying? So, I just started late. I was on the verge of getting close to getting to what I wanted to achieve, but I just started too late. I think if I would have started earlier, I would have knocked them out.
We got your opponent Figo on the line as well. Have you had?
I think he might not been able to make it. Yeah.
McCrory's not able to join.
Oh, okay. No biggie. I misread that, I suppose.
Oh yeah.
Well, no biggie. Listen, you got an Irish kid coming in front of you. We know that he's aggressive. Southpaw as well, and the power, I can't tell. Does it look real to use? That what do you think about your opponent?
I think he's, like you said, gritty, tough, and to me, I don't know. It looked like his keys to success are his grit and his will, I guess, and his pressure. But excuse me, I've been in there with plenty of guys who have pressure, plenty of guys who actually punch hard, so it wouldn't be no different. Like in the actual fight, not just sparring or anything like that. I've been in there with some heavy-handed guys, and it's just another day in the office. I just got to be on my game, bring my A game, and show that I'm levels above him, honestly.
And Lamont, this is probably a moment that you dreamed of, winning the world title and come back home and defend it. How special is it?
Man, it's very special. It's very special. I promised my fans and my family and friends in 2017 when I last fought here that I would win a world title and I would defend it at home, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So to do it in my first fight as my first defense is crazy.
How do you go about making a statement when, obviously the ideal statement is a stoppage, but we've seen a lot of fighters, show and explain why you can't get caught up too much in what the fans want to see. Winning is first and foremost. So how do you go about, maybe getting that stoppage, but not feeding into things that could get you off the game plan and all of that?
Establishing control from the break. Even if he wants to come forward, controlling the ring, controlling the pace. I know how to do that coming forward, moving, lateral movement, whatever the case may be. But and being able to work when I want to work, not letting him dictate anything. And he's going to be surprised if he think I don't have any power or anything like that. Just like everybody else, honestly. It's he. Once he makes a mistake, it's going to be. It might be curtains, because once I see it, I'm gonna take it.
You had some fun back and forth, I think, with O'Shaquie Foster, WBC champion. What do you just thinking about you? Obviously, right now Friday's the only thing on your mind, but what do you think's the best unification fight in the division? What's maybe also the most realistic, unification fight? Is it Navarrete? Is it the other Irish? Are you going to go back-to-back Irish kids, fight McCrory, and then fight Kakachi for the IBF, or something with Top Rank with Navarrete or Foster?
Well, I think the most, I think on a level playing field, I think they're all equally realistic because once again, I'm not signed with a big promoter. I'm a free agent. And, I have the leverage far as where I want to go or where I can go. And, as long as the business is right, I think the best unification right now is me versus Oshaki, honestly.
Fighting on back-to-back weekends, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Lining up.
It just makes sense. That's all I'm going to say. It just makes sense. So hopefully we'll get in touch again because we tried and it just didn't work. Mm-hmm. But we definitely tried, and I think it can happen. I have a mandatory that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be bugged about, but hopefully we get exempt to unify, and that'd be crazy.
Fantastic. Hey, listen, Lamont, thanks for joining the PorterWay Podcast. Good luck Friday night, and we look forward to seeing the fight.
All right, thank you. And have me back on so I can talk some trash after it.
I 100% will have you back on.
Hey, stay humble right now.
Perfect.
Do your thing Friday. We have you back on Sunday.
All right, for sure.
Hey, listen, McCrory, get it though. I gotta get him on.
For sure. But that ain't gonna happen. So,
hey, you gotta bring Pops back too.
Yes, sir. And and come on with your dad as well. God bless you, big dog.
All right, same to you. Y'all take care.
Thanks, Mr. Jonas, you still there?
I'm still here.
There he is. Listen, final words from you, sir. You got a great card coming up Friday night, ProBox TV. Anything else you want us to say before we get out of here?
No, I appreciate you, Shawn, and you guys. I appreciate being on. And look, I hope the fans tune in, download the app, and watch it on all your big screen TVs. It's available on all of them. So, and it should be a fun night of fights. The undercard, that's Lamont Roach Sr.'s No Excuse Promotion undercard, starts at 5:30. It'll run to 7:30, and we'll do some sort of pregame. And then it'll kick off at 8 p.m. So it should be a hell of a fight. We've got Ben Johnson, a top amateur kid who's making his pro debut to sort of start the night as an appetizer with Rihanna Rios afterwards, female fighter who's a contender. And then 9 o'clock, it gets serious with the 2 10-rounders that I mentioned before. And then, of course, the main event championship fight. So should be a fun night, and hope everyone tunes in.
Perfect. Thank you, Garry. You guys have a good one, all right? God bless you on fight night.
Likewise. Appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Garry.
Thank you.
I got a feeling they're going to pack the house in D.C., and that should be a great night of boxing. ProBox TV doing their thug thizzle, and I'm happy to be a part of ProBox TV.
The kids had Nick Jonas, Joe Jonas, but we got Garry Jonas. So there you go.
No, I got no clue where you.
I was like, where we going?
Yeah. Listen, we've teamed up with DraftKings, and we got a great offer for you guys right now. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Enter our promo code
TPWP.
You bet $5, you get $150 in bonus bets back instantly. That's right. New customers can bet just $5 on anything and receive $150 in bonus bets instantly.
DraftKings is giving new customers a shot to get in on the action all night long.
DraftKings is the one-stop shop for all things daily fantasy, where you can join in on all the fun and have the shot to win cash prizes. There it is, UFC 303 happening right here in Las Vegas. What we need you to do, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
And our promo code
TPWP.
And remember, the crown is yours.
This segment, of course, is sponsored by DraftKings. This week we got UFC 303, and we got Prochazka against Pereira in the main event. This is a rematch.
Yeah.
Let me say it.
Oh, well, I thought I was hyped about the rematch.
I don't know how he do that when I do it at the same time. We got a rematch. Go ahead. You take over.
Yeah, we got a rematch. This is a fight that happened last year, November 2023. Pierre, the champion, won by KO, second round. But have you been in rematches before? You've been in one rematch in your career?
I've been
in a different way?
Several as an amateur, okay?
Okay. I'm talking about professionally wise. So, anything can happen in UFC where people get hurt. Shout out to Ken Shamrock. I just seen you lose to Kimbo Slice. I didn't even know that was a thing. But that's off topic. But I seen people get tapped.
Yeah.
Broken bones.
Yeah. How this
blood.
one happened? Come on now. How this one happened?
This one, man. I don't know how it's going to happen.
Foot. What did he do? No, how did he get knocked out?
Probably punch. I'm guessing a punch.
Okay,
Big punch.
that's what he's guessing.
So, with the odds, got my man Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre.
-166. So if you bet 1,000, because I think the champion's gonna retain everything.
Yeah.
And he's 10-2, and I think he keep rolling.
I like that.
$1,000 wins you back 1,600.
But
I'm dealing with the butt guy over here.
I like underdogs. You know what I mean? I like the guy that's counted out.
So I'm dealing with the butt guy right here.
Literally, don't get counted out. You know what I mean?
So you take the challenger. What's challenger name?
Prohaska.
All right, we got you. +140, so it's a close fight. $1,000 wins you $240. I mean, $2,400. Sorry about that. A little UFC on my mind.
Yeah, $2,400 if you bet 1,000 on Prohaska.
Yeah.
To win.
That ain't bad.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem with betting, man. It gets you.
Yeah.
Now my heart is just being torn apart.
So what we got in this one? We got Pereira. What kind of fighter is he? Do you know?
Not sure what type of fighter Pierre is.
And then what about Prohaska?
Brawler. Tough guys. Tough guys. I mean, you got the guy. I don't know if styles really matter to you. So we got the.
No, they matter.
I got you. We got a Pierre kickboxing style.
Okay.
Then we got the other guy. He's a striker. Your height.
Yeah.
We got the striker 6'3". The other guy is 6'4". Big guys.
Okay.
Pierre is 10-2. Other guy is 34-1.
He got experience, but that also means he's got a little bit of wear and tear.
Oh, I didn't think about that one. You think about all this little stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
Didn't think about that one.
Yeah.
Wear and tear.
So hold on, let's break this down real quick. Prohaska got KO'd in the first one, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
He's the older fighter.
No, he's not. He's actually
sorry,
a fighter.
Not the older, but he's got a little bit more experience. He's got more fights. A hell of a lot more fights. I mean, he's got 35 fights, and this other kid got 12. You know what I mean? So,
and he actually older, 36 years old.
Oh, but the 12.
Yeah, I mean that's how UFC careers go. So.
Wow.
And he's the world champion.
And that's why this is a 50-50 situation.
Been up in there with Izzy, beat Izzy once, lost to Izzy once.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's seen a lot.
Yeah.
So now who you impressed with?
I'm impressed with DraftKings, okay? What I want you guys to do, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, enter our promo code
TPWP.
And I encourage you, I implore you, enjoy this fight and get on that app and play some bets, because this one is going to be a fun one to watch, and you don't know what's going to happen with your money, man. So enjoy this one.
I want to thank DraftKings for sponsoring this segment. Okay.
Real quick, you were at the fights.
Yes.
Friday night.
Yeah, at the Fontainebleau.
Yeah. How was the Fontainebleau?
It's cool.
Yeah.
At first I thought, okay, I don't know. There's a new hotel, but it's on the rougher side of the strip. It's at the midpoint before you get to the,
It's right there.
It's like Fashion Show and Beyond. It's the bougie.
Where it started getting tricky.
Yeah. But no, it's cool. And I think I started to pick up that there's some life at the Fontainebleau. Once Devin and Tank had a run in there, and once Ryan Garcia was saying, "Hey, everyone head to Fontainebleau," I said, "Oh, okay." So I guess the party people are getting live at Fontainebleau. I just show up to cover fights and go home.
Yeah. Me too.
Anyway,
me too.
We had the young kid on. How did he look?
DJ?
Yeah.
He workmanlike performance. Okay. Didn't blow anyone away, but he was consistent behind his jab. Had a guy in front of him, and this is often in your first 15 fights, right? When you're fighting veterans who know they're kind of outgunned, and they're fighting more or less to make a distance and frustrate you and catch you with the occasional shot that you can walk into because you're doing everything you can to look impressive.
Right.
So every now and then they snipe you with one. But outside of that, I mean, he won basically every round. He stayed behind his jab. He looked good, but still some growing to be done for DJ. Yeah, at 13-0.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, it gets the
baby in the game.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the co-main. We had Abraham Nova and
Andres Cortes.
Yes, sir, Andres Cortes.
Not an easy fight to score, but I thought Nova out-hustled him. Wasn't necessarily super effective.
Yeah.
Cortes got him to fight his fight pretty early on. Nova had to give up on outboxing from the outside. So he tried to just, bite down and dig it out by out-hustling him, beating him at his own game. And I did think in a majority of the rounds he out-threw him and out-landed him, which is why I would have been fine with him getting a decision. But every time Cortes landed, which wasn't as often, it was more effective. And
cleaner.
It shook up Nova more than Nova was ever able to shake up Cortes. But Cortes missed weight, looked soft in the midsection.
He did.
Throughout the fight.
He did.
It wasn't an impressive performance by any means, and he's probably fortunate to get out of there with a win. But it wasn't the easiest fight to score.
Was that one of those fights that depends on what you like as a judge?
A little bit.
You want the hustle side, you want the cleaner shots. I mean, my man worked all 10 rounds. I give him that.
Yeah.
And then dude was punching while he was punching, landing big shots. I thought Nova won. I feel like, is this the second time Nova had a crazy decision like this?
No,
Oshaki
came on strong and dropped him in the 12th, so no controversy there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was a little surprising that he wasn't able to fight at range with Cortes very long. And he looked even tired. He looked even arm-weary halfway through the fight, but he just kept coming and coming. And Cortes, who's usually very active on the inside and good on the inside, his energy wasn't there the way it normally is. Maybe the weight cut, missing weight by a pound. And so I don't know what was going on there. He usually has a little bit more burst and energy in the pocket, which Nova obliged by fighting him most of the night. It wasn't a pretty fight.
Yeah.
It wasn't a pretty fight.
It wasn't a pretty
entertaining?
fight. It wasn't pretty, but it was entertaining. I thought it was a fun fight to watch. I kind of felt like what you were saying at the beginning of what you just said here was that it seemed like Cortes got Nova to fight his fight. In turn, as a judge, you were watching this fight unfold in a way you didn't expect it to. Because Abraham has the longer arms, is the taller fighter, you would think that this fight's supposed to take place on the outside. Because it doesn't. You have the mindset that Cortes is actually controlling this fight and making it look the way that it's looking. And I didn't feel that way, but I feel like from a judging standpoint, that's what happened. I think the judges kind of fell into this fight's taking place on the inside. Cortes must be winning because
he's in control. That's his style. That's
exactly.
his fight.
Yeah, that's what I felt, man. I thought Nova had the hustle and bustle. Of course, he got hit with the clean shots. There were even for me a couple rounds that I said his work rate was high. But Cortes, I think he snuck that round. As a fan watching this, trying to judge this fight, Antt, let me tell you what I'm doing. The fan in me want to get around to Nova, but the other side of me saying there looked like some big shots landed from Cortes. So I'm just trying to give you guys like this is a true way that these judges actually have to judge some fights. You know what I mean? There's only so many times you can see a fight and see a fighter before something that they do imprints on your brain, before something that they've done makes you a fan of theirs, and then all of a sudden there's this tug of war between integrity and what is actually real. You know what I mean? And it's really hard.
What would the perception be by most people watching?
Exactly.
Even though I, as a judge, know better and know what I'm supposed to be looking for.
So it's like whoever styles dominates the most, that's who wins. Do we really? Okay, Zytel boxing beat Shawn brawler. Oh, we boxed all night. Zytel won the fight.
Even though I was getting hit with more shots. But I guess their logic was they're fighting Cortez's fight, and Cortes is landing the harder shot. Not nearly as many of them, or not throwing as many of them, but he's landing the hardest punches in the fight. And Nova, failed early on to fight his fight and had to kind of fight Cortez's fight. And so that's their logic.
That's 2 losses now for Nova, right?
3.
That's 3 losses.
Robeisy,
now for Nova.
Ramirez, Foster,
Yes, Robeisy.
and now
That was one I
Cortez.
forgot.
Yeah.
Tough fighters.
Yeah.
Tough fighters.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. That's 3 fights for the young man Nova. I feel like there's a lot of fighters that get put in the journeyman role once they hit once they hit 3 fights.
Right.
Of 3 losses, 4 losses. The performance that he had shows clearly that he's got the energy, that he's still healthy, that he can still game plan, that he can still follow through, execute. The list goes on. I'm really begging right now that y'all don't put this young man in a gatekeeping role. Like, still give this man good, exciting fights that he can be in on TV.
But sometimes don't you have to fulfill that role and then upset one of those young undefeated kids they're feeding you to, and that's how you get your title shot again. Right? You drop a couple fights, sometimes that's the position you're in now. You got to fight out of that position, right? Or
it's Shawn Porter.
Well, he never quite got there.
Judging, but from a
that would have been the Boots fight.
From a judicial aspect, though, that's how he ended up losing this fight.
Right.
He didn't lose this fight based on performance or lack thereof. He lost this fight based on just the judicial process worked against him. Right. Worked against him on fight night. You know, if he gets his hand raised because of activity, if he gets his hand raised because he made weight, you know what I mean? Like some of these, you know, he in the title shot. That's my point. You know what I mean? So I just hate to see him now. All of a sudden, they're gonna, you know, for the sake of words, throw him to the wolves or feed him to a younger, hungry fighter that.
Upset a couple of those guys.
Hypothetically, if he didn't lose this fight, they wouldn't see him yet. You know what I mean?
We might say, turn your ass around, young man.
Yeah,
I got another title shot. I gotta get.
That's a hard night out for a young person that's not experienced.
Jesse James Leha did Bojado like that. Back, remember Francisco Bojado?
Yeah, of course,
remember he was on the rise. He was, and then he fights Jesse James, and he said, no. I'm getting this Arturo Gatti payday, young man. Yeah. I'm getting this Costazu Arturo Gatti paydays.
Hey, main event.
Yeah.
Rafael Espinoza.
Ass whooping.
Huh?
Ass whooping. Well, what else? What else you gotta say about it?
Yo, I like the kid, man. I told this story to a couple people last week during the fight week. He had his fight with what's his name?
Shawn.
The Cuban.
Move your mic back around. Let's give me some feedback again.
Oh, Robeisy.
Yeah,
we won the title last December.
I watched this fight with Robeisy Ramirez. Going into the fight, he was the underdog. He wasn't expected to win, and he got put down early.
5th round.
And then ends up coming back and ended up flooring Robeisy.
In most people's fight of the year, or one of the top candidates.
And I told somebody last night, like, yo, when we started talking about our candidates for fight of the year and all that kind of stuff, because of I didn't think about it because I think it was a lower weight class.
At the very end, too. And it was at the end of the year.
Yeah, I just didn't think about it. But the way he performed in that fight, like, it actually choked me up. Like, I saw what I felt was, like, what boxing is at that point, you know what I mean, for that young man. And so I was excited to see him come back. And I thought he did nothing less than what he should have been doing coming off of a fight against Robeisy Ramirez.
He looked better, didn't he?
Yeah.
That like we had Lamont on.
Styles make face.
Yes.
Styles make face.
That's true. He didn't have.
That's not his problem.
Right.
He did what he had to
do. Right.
Yeah.
He didn't have a slick Cuban counterpuncher in front of him.
Kind of all.
Right. No doubt. But that's why I asked Lamont earlier in the show about getting 50% better as a champion. That's like an old boxing cliche. But fresh off of what Rafael Espinoza did, that's why that question was in my mind for Lamont. Because I'm like, this guy looks better already in his first title defense.
Yeah.
Still gets hit a lot.
Yeah.
And like
defense is well.
Right. But in this weight class, if he can take the power of his opponents, it may not stop him from being the best featherweight.
Yeah.
You know, when he has to get up to 35 in a division, a different story.
Yeah.
But for now, he may be able to absorb what these guys at 26 are dishing out.
Right.
And they can't take what's coming back.
He can't budge a weight until he get the defense right. Don't even think about going to 130. It's just I
think for me, it looks like he's just a little too offensive, a little like his mindset is offense, and obviously needs to be offense, defense.
He had a couple rolls when he landed the first
Yeah.
knockdown. He rolled the old school Mexican move.
Yeah,
where they just turn.
that was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
I thought he hit with a body shot until I seen the replay.
like my dad. So when I would train and I would spar, my dad would say, "Move your head," right? And then I would start moving my head, and then my dad would say, "Not now. Move your head. Move your head." When
What I just said, yeah.
Right.
He said I start.
right.
That's the old.
So yeah.
Boom.
So then my dad
hilarious.
would stop me. He said, just because I tell you to move your head and then you start moving it doesn't mean you move your head.
Right.
I need you to move your head when it's time to. And I think that's the thing for him. He's, obviously we can see he can roll off of shots when he needs to, when he wants to. But now we need to make that a little bit more second nature. Opposed
But you're
to,
saying he's not thinking about it.
yeah, exactly. I want him to. He needs to get to a point where thinking about it is not what he just does it. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I think that.
What do you do? Do you do that on the pads? We doom and just make sure this is coming back, or
Well, we see him taking punches on the way in too. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We see him step into last night. We saw him step into his opponent and getting caught with some overhand rights and things of that nature. Overhand right, you're supposed to see that punch coming, especially as tall as he is. A couple of other shots that landed on him cleanly. I think he's just, his mindset is so offense
Right.
that he's not thinking defense.
Right.
My fight with Kell Brook, I was so offensive that I wasn't slipping on the way in, and I was taking some on the way out as well. So
you also not feeling those shots? Majority of them?
wasn't feeling. I'm sure he wasn't feeling a lot of what
right.
he just so get him.
Right.
And it's just a matter of, now you're the champ. You've got your first championship defense under your belt, and now let's pull back and let's see what we need to work on. A lot of fighters, a lot of trainers don't look at what do we need to work on. So I hope that happens for him in this camp. He's got Manny Robles in his corner, so
Very good trainer.
very good trainer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he takes 2 steps to you and he's back in range.
yeah,
You could go halfway across the ring.
Yeah.
He takes 2 or 3 steps and he's back on top of you in range.
I saw that too. Like
Yeah.
his ability to cut off the ring. I said, for a tall guy,
Mm-hmm.
you doing this a lot right,
Right.
and not much wrong in terms of how he's moving and utilizing the ring too. So very impressed.
What's next?
I
A
would,
unification?
I would love him and Figueroa. That
I
would
was
be
gonna say,
yeah.
the defense though, but that's a
Well,
beautiful night in boxing.
a lot of punches landed.
Yeah.
Both.
And,
Both.
Well, Figueroa, you think would have the advantage inside. He has a better jab than Figueroa. He has a good jab. He uses it. He's not a jabber.
Yeah.
But it'll drive you crazy if it's a tall guy who just
He
neglects
uses
it
it to get to you.
to do what he wants to do.
Yeah,
Get his
yeah.
run his combinations,
Yeah.
freeze you on the ropes,
Yeah.
get busy.
Yeah.
And he's really good offensive fighter.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
he's a cleaner offensive fighter than Figueroa. But Figueroa is one of the most durable fighters in the game. And
It's a lot to break him down.
right. And so can he? I think he dishes it out a little bit better, a little cleaner.
Yeah, a little cleaner.
But can he take it like Figueroa can?
And that work rate too.
And that work rate.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's a good fight.
Who
Great
got more
fight.
in the tank? Because it's like a street fighter. It's
I
taking
think
something out of it.
Espinoza's actually a little better than Figueroa, but Figueroa is as tough as
The
they
heart.
come. Yeah, he may have that even on Espinoza, who's tough too. But
Is Oshaki a more realistic fight at this point though?
well, Shock's at 30, and these are 26.
Oh, you're right. He
Right,
did move
right.
up to 30. Yeah.
The real sweepstakes for all these guys is when's the new weight coming up, so I can get that money and also fight a 22-pounder
Yeah.
coming up. So
Yeah.
it'd be a great question of, is he just too big for a new weight?
They had
you know?
Shushu ringside. Did you see?
Yes.
Did you see Shushu ringside?
Yeah, I posed behind him on the telecast.
Can we show it? Can we show it?
I got
Probably
to
not.
see both. I'm just saying,
Wait,
Inoue,
oh.
I think Inoue, night.
Is this the commentary?
Yeah, the one
Okay.
he wanted, the picture.
Hang on a sec.
Yeah, no problem. But I don't know, man. Where's Zartel at?
Right,
Get
but-
his
look
little
at
shot
that
box
tail,
in.
look crispy.
Get his little shot box in.
Everybody
like-
back there.
Like you do.
Okay, okay.
That was the last night of that particular long hair. It'll come back.
Somebody gonna have that on their wall one day.
Thank you.
Listen,
That's a lot of legends right there.
I feel like right now I'm more of a Rafael Espinoza fan than I am Bruce Carrington.
Ooh, what? Are you trying?
I just said it. And that's
Get the hell out of here, man.
Let me add.
Shushu
Hold
will
on.
smoke this dude right now. Tomorrow.
Think so?
Tomorrow.
Shushu, make it happen.
Shushu will smoke this dude tomorrow. Okay? I'll
know.
say that. Smoke him.
I'll be ringside for that
Smoke.
one.
And
Stops him.
And I'm talking about sitting next to Tim for
Okay.
that one.
And we got to bet.
I'll make that work.
he's doing a tactic. He's doing a tactic.
Oh, is that, he got me. I fell into the trap. He got down. He got me.
See what he's trying to do is light a fire under Bruce Carrington. That's what he's trying to do.
I know what Bruce
He wants Bruce to knock him out more than anybody.
That's not true.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I really like Espinoza.
I know you like him.
I want Bruce
know
to
you
knock
like him.
out, but that's a fight I would like
But you
to
got
see.
love for Bruce.
I got love for both of them.
Hey,
Real talk. I
okay,
love
never mind.
out
I'm
of
wrong.
respect for
I'm wrong then. I miss.
I was trying to give him some respect, but yeah, Shushu smokes this dude.
I want to see it.
All right, I want to see you smoking
I
too.
want to see it.
Yeah.
Yo, let's move forward and then let's get out of here.
Tactical.
I had to touch on it because I know everybody's talking about it. Ryan Garcia, we finally see, everything has kind of for now. Because I don't think it's ended.
What's the next? What's next?
I think we're gonna see some legal
Going to laws?
Oh yeah, all that kind of stuff. Especially we saw, the purse bid come back really, I guess, for say where's low for Devin Haney and his fight with Sandor Martin. But first and foremost, how we feel about the year suspension.
Hey,
I said, ooh, they gave him a year.
Could have been worse.
Yeah, sit out a year
Could've been
anyway.
worse.
Yeah.
I was thinking, long, 2 at least.
You wasn't thinking 6 months?
No, I was thinking 2 years.
Yeah, I was like 6 months to a year.
The
Then
Canelo suspension.
Then I saw the year. I was like, ew.
Okay.
What are you gonna do for a year?
My thing is, did Ryan Garcia
That's
hurt?
a hell of a picture.
Did Ryan Garcia hurt his career and also Devin Haney's career? I don't care. You can give Devin Haney the win.
Wow.
We're never gonna remember what we seen that night.
Forget. You said we're never gonna remember.
Oh, forget. Yeah, sorry about that. See, CTE. That ain't funny.
Nah.
Especially in this sport. But we're never gonna forget what we seen that night, and I think it's like if he definitely pop whatever. I don't want to get sued, Ryan. So allegedly,
It's official.
All right, I don't want to get sued. So we get sued together.
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, but it's just like you hurt your career. Obviously, you also hurt Devin Haney. You can do all the correction you want. We still remember what Devin went through that night. I say the only way back for Devin to right this wrong is the Miguel Cotto way. Because after Miguel got beat by
Margarito,
we were like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then when he went back and got that get back, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cheated.
made his point in the ring. Yeah.
So I just think that's what he needs to do. And even like Deontay Wilder, he accused Tyson or whatever. He tried. Mm-hmm. We respect you for at least trying.
And got him in court to make a third fight happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At least try. That's the thing. It just sucks for Devin Haney because that probably affects his money from here on out.
Well, at first I kind of had the boxing fan in me was like, okay, I understand. I sympathize for Devin a bit because he's getting treated pretty terrible on social media. Like it's awful.
Yeah, it's
and everyone's being more sympathetic and empowering Ryan, definitely more so than Devin. And that's because Ryan has tapped into true celebrity. Few fighters gain that. And once you tap into celebrity, you gain a whole group of irrational fans who kind of do like false idol worship. Like, they obsess over you and love you and they'll believe anything you say. And Ryan weaponized that a lot in this whole process. He knew he could tell them anything and they would believe it. His reasoning on why he popped would change every other day, every other week. There was like a half dozen times he'd tweet out, I'm cleared, I'm good, I'm free, I'm good, knowing that that's not true. You have a hearing to go with the commission that you're getting. But his fans would eat it up, especially non-boxing fans, people who aren't really boxing fans. They're Ryan Garcia fans. And so it's been a little tough to see him weaponize that and all that. And so initially with Devin, I was like, but I'm a little disappointed in Devin too because I want to see the Miguel Cotto, get right back on the horse, get right back in the ring. But then I slept on it and I thought, you know what? Actually, Devin might be doing the right thing, taking an extended break because Cotto was on shaky ground for a year or two after that loss. He wasn't quite himself.
100%.
He got right back in the Pacquiao fight, the Josh Clottey fight.
Yep.
And that Cotto vengeance came, I think might have been 3. It came 3 years later.
Yeah.
3 years later.
And it was after the Shane Mosley fight and everything like that.
Yeah, right. It was that, and it was after Margarito had like you said, got beaten up by Mosley, beaten up by Pacquiao.
Got caught.
Right, and got caught. And Cotto, meanwhile, got to, after the Pacquiao loss, actually build his confidence against guys like Yuri Foreman, Mayorga, beatable guys, and then he could feel like Cotto again. Then he beats up Margarito. So actually, maybe Devin's doing the right thing. Yes, like the bloodlusting boxing fan in me is not the bloodlust, just the guy who wants to see the best fight the best. Come on, Devin, get back in there, defend the title. Don't let them strip you. Don't defend the title against Martin.
Yeah.
Maybe fight Catterall. Get your legs back underneath you, and then go. T.O. and Brian rematch and all that. Maybe he's doing the right thing, letting that body and mind heal a little bit outside of the ring. WBC is, it's very inconsistent with the WBC's doing. They let Jamal Charlo have about 2.5 years before he fought. They didn't think of stripping him. Gary Russell, Canelo is going on like 3 years with Benavidez being ranked, maybe not the mandatory, but the interim or the silver or the number one guy in the rankings, and no forcing Canelo. Meanwhile, this young man, Devin, couldn't even get through his full process of a guy beating him on performance enhancers. They're like, decision, 10 days or you lose the title, so just inconsistent by the WBC.
Yeah.
And Ryan's conduct has been disappointing.
Yeah.
And hopefully he doesn't get himself into too much trouble in the next year. And both guys could still have a rematch, fight at a weight that both guys make, and may the best man win that rematch to settle everything in the ring once and for all. But yeah.
Do you think, I didn't feel that it did, but do you think this performance, the fight between Devin and Ryan, do you think that had any bearing on the purse bid for Devin Haney and Sandor Martin?
I think so. I think that's why I don't know who I'm even referring to as they, but it would seem, that the business people involved in this scenario may have said to themselves that, hey, let's push this purse bid ahead quickly because Haney's about to get his O back, which makes him more, a higher priced fighter.
Yeah.
So at the time that purse bid happened, Devin Haney was 31-1.
Yeah.
What's the phrase everyone loves now? Today's price is not yesterday's price.
Right.
31-0 reigning WBC super lightweight champion costs more money to get in the ring than 31-1 coming off a 3 knockdown loss WBC champion. So I don't know. It would seem to me that could have been in play. Yeah. Because you got to pay him more if he's an undefeated champion as opposed to not being an undefeated champion.
When the WBO mandated my fight with Terrence Crawford, and then the whispers that there would be a purse bid for the fight, I remember seeing comments that the boxing world was excited because they felt for the first time that not only were they going to get this fight, but they were going to get this fight on the stage that we deserve boxing to be on, a big stage. I'm excited about it. I remember at that point in time, I was doing the Olympic commentary. I was over in Connecticut. And the conversations were, are we going to go to a purse bid, or are we going to accept this specific amount from Top Rank? And I said, no, purse bid. I was even pushing against my dad for the purse bid because I was hearing people outside of this country wanted to bid on this fight. And I felt like that was what was going to happen. I felt like this fight was going to go overseas or something along those lines. I'm not saying that Saudi. That's
where my mind went. Like, was Saudi?
Saudi wasn't even involved, especially not to the capacity that they are now.
Yeah.
Maybe there could have been some Saudi back then, maybe, but I'm not gonna co-sign and say, Saudi would have took this fight. But I felt like overseas, I was hearing rumblings that overseas people wanted to make this fight happen. We stayed put, and once the purse bid opened up, we were told that nobody showed up for the purse bid. The same way that nobody bidded on a Devin Haney fight.
Top Rank won at $2.4 million.
They won at 2.4.
Yeah, which means Devin would make a little over $1 million as a champion, right?
But what you already said, we don't know what the true conversations are. We don't know what the people in the room are actually saying, what they are actually doing. For me to have a fight of the magnitude, myself and Terrence Crawford, not go to a purse bid and Top Rank just put the fight on because it could have possibly happened overseas, I got a feeling y'all kept this in house, and the purse bid was low because y'all kept it in house, opposed to allowing some of these people we see getting involved with boxing now take over. We want this one to happen at home. You know what I mean? So these are the kinds of things that y'all don't know about happen. Y'all don't know that all these promoters talk to these promoters. Y'all don't realize
Sanctioning
that
bodies talk to the promoters.
y'all don't realize that one of the Charlo brothers keeps the belt for 2.5 years without fighting.
Yeah.
All the while, this man can't hold it for
2.5 months.
For 2.5 months, because this is just
with
the
an
way
impending PED case.
and this is with a pending case. And this
Can I get
is
through
just,
this case first?
and this is just how boxing works. So for anybody out there that's watching this podcast now, y'all think y'all know the business of boxing, y'all don't know. When y'all see purse bid this, and y'all see, oh, the mandatory is that, and it's a 50-30 split this, and 20-70 this, and y'all, these numbers ain't real. They showing y'all what they want y'all to see, so that y'all accept what they want y'all to see, what they want y'all to have. So just keep in mind, man, when y'all see this kind of stuff happen, he gets a 1-year suspension. Hey, listen, I'm glad that he got a year opposed to the 6 months that I thought might come. You know what I mean? We never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen in this game. So just, at the end of the day, care about these fighters, man, because we all go through it.
I'll just say, too, the revelation, like Antt mentioned earlier, that he also popped for the New York State Athletic Commission test. That's a big takeaway, because I think I even said on the show a couple weeks ago, hey, just to keep an open mind, I don't think this is coming, but okay, maybe there's a chance Ryan can prove something bad, a real tangible connections between Vada and Conti, and something conspiratorial with Devin and Bill.
I ain't mad at it.
But right, but ultimately, the New York Commission test is separate from Vada, so you busted with Vada with the New York Commission too. So that takes Conti and Vada even out of it. It'd been one thing if New York said, actually, on our test he's clean, but we believe the results of Vada, we're going to defer to them. No, they found with their own testing that he popped for Ostarine too. So that makes it, look like sometimes Ryan was making things up.
Yeah.
So someone asked me, why do I not care that he tested, and I'm happy Devin lost? I said, imagine if Floyd would have lost somebody and they tested. You wouldn't care.
Right.
Floyd, forever, you lost.
Oh, yeah.
I said, that's the Devin Haney and his dad. That's the work that they put in, that they came off, and you wanted to see him lose. At the end of the day, people don't want to see people be successful. So you lost, and that's what people want. And I think Devin's career is actually he lost a lot of money in this fight. Who knows if Devin will ever be right again? He has to beat a dog now. You got to beat a Tate. You got to beat a Tio. You got to beat a Shakira to get back to that level. I'm never going to pay you that again. I'm sorry. What I've seen is hard. I don't know if I could sell this show like that. Who are you without the belts? It's just kind of where it is right now with Devin. I don't care if it's 31-0.
He got to get back in the ring
ASAP.
And he just got to show that he's who he is.
He has to put in the work. You can't just sit back and type and say we ain't gonna fight till this. Yeah. He has to get back in the ring.
Yeah. Will it be Sandor Martin, you think?
I don't know. Fighters sometimes say one thing and then change their mind.
Sure.
But he's giving every indication he's going to vacate the title and take a year off or so.
Oh, a year off? No, don't do that.
We're never going to.
Don't do that.
Do not leave us with that. Do not leave us with the Ryan fight, man. Get back in the ring.
Get back in the ring.
In the fall, and let's go.
Let's exactly how I felt too. But then again, I remembered, man, Cotto wasn't himself for a little while after that fight with Margarito. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Cotto would have done better taking a year off to heal.
Because here's the thing, and this is why I tell people, your brain is a muscle too. You have to exercise that brain too. What happens with the brain, memory, the brain stores everything. So you're storing all of the thoughts, all of the visions, all of the comments and everything from that night. What are you doing to get those thoughts and memories and comments out of your brain?
Right.
You're going to train. You're going to get back to training. You're going to get back to lifting the weights and doing the push-ups and hitting the bag and sparring and catching, missing, all kinds of stuff. But what are you doing up here? What did Cotto do up here to get himself right? We saw 3 or 4 years later, he's back to being old Cotto because it took that much time
right.
for his brain to recover. but you didn't do anything to help your brain recover. You didn't do anything for those memories. You didn't do anything for those emotions that you were going through. What Devin needs to do, the same thing. It's the same thing that a lot of people do. The same thing that I got right now. You need to get a counselor. You need to get a therapist. You need to talk to somebody. You need to get it out, because storing it in your brain, you're not gonna get back in the ring and be the same, because you have not done anything to the brain. You know what I mean? So that's what he needs to do. I would say don't take a year off. I like fall. I like winter at the latest, and I like him talking to somebody. I like him working through the in-ring stuff and the out-ring stuff. Accept the fact that this dude was on PEDs when you guys boxed, but also accept the fact that you got hit with some stuff that you shouldn't have got hit with.
Right.
Accept the fact that there were some adjustments you could have made. Accept the fact that your dad didn't give you some adjustments that you could have made. You know what I mean? Like, work yourself through this whole process, and he will be ready to go. Physically, he's all gonna be there. It's just for him, I really do truly believe that mentally and emotionally, that's where the biggest effect is gonna be for him with this fight with Ryan Garcia, and of course financially. I think he's got a little. He's probably 2 great fights away from getting back to that place he was.
Has to win them.
But they both gotta be great fights.
Yeah, and
though.
you got to win them.
Yeah, they both.
And
gotta
Bill
be
may
great fights.
need help in the corner.
Yeah.
You're not out coaching Calvin Ford with Tank fucking Davis. You're not beating Shakira Stevenson.
Did you see their sparring?
I don't care about that.
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't mean it as a retort. I didn't see it. Yeah, I didn't mean
I was about to say, it's to the point where I don't even want to fight Tank.
Yeah.
That's how nervous I am for the kid right now.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, like, because you see what Tank did to Frank, and it's like, I think that's kind of how you're going to fight against Tank. Like, Devin is a crazy motherfucker if he on his front foot like he was with Ryan and versus Tank. That's crazy, but yeah, I think Bill needs to accept that he needs another set of eyes.
Yeah.
It's just, Bill, you're not.
He always has. It's just once he gets the fight night, he takes over the
You
corner.
can't do that. You can't do that. I'll respect the Bill.
Yeah.
You can be another voice in the corner, but I don't know. I don't know what your dad doing. Bring in Shawn dad. Bring in somebody.
What's your dad doing?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
You need an all-star corner.
Did Barry have a voice on fight night in the corner?
My dad? Barry?
Yeah.
Barry was probably the last voice I heard before I would go back out to the fight. So come back to the corner and hear my dad, and then before, hey Barry, what you got?
And that's,
you know what I mean?
That's fine.
Right.
At the end of the day, we still remember it was Kenny Porter and Shawn Porter. It's okay. I promise you, bro.
Yeah.
We're not gonna take nothing from you.
Yeah.
It's just we starting to see little things like, oh, that's rookie mistakes.
I'm going into the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah.
Coach Wade is going to be there. Right. Coach Barry is going to be there. Coach Howell is going to be there. And my dad's going to be there. And some of the other people who are part of the team, you need an all-star team.
Okay, you don't limit to how many people you can fight. Okay, so now,
you need an
now
all-star,
you start paying.
because you need an all-star team in order for you to perform like an all-star on fight night. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, Coach Wade was like one of the adjustments from the Brook fight, right? I mean, he may have been with you right before that.
He was, no, he was before me. He was with me before the fight with Brook.
Right.
Yeah, yep. Coach Barry came in before my fight with Danny.
Right.
They had experience getting ready for Danny, but Coach Barry was there in my first fight. And Coach Barry was there along the way before we just moved out of, fighting for the same promotional team. Right. Then we were just on different shows. But once we got to a point where we could we had the money to do it, we brought Barry right back in, And that's what it takes. It takes, like I said, man, you need all-stars around you. You know what I mean? Dish off. And don't be afraid to dish it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Perfectly fine. What you think? A year off? I say fight this year.
Who, for Haney? Or?
Yeah, Haney.
I mean, me, I like the Sandor Martin fight because I feel like it's a perfect kind of fight for him, where your skills, everything's going to be tested, like you said, mentally, and everything's going to have to be sharp, but you're not in danger against power. Because I don't think the first punches you should be taking after a fight like Garcia is from a puncher. But you do need a world-class guy in front of you who's going to still make you be on your P's and Q's skills-wise. But I think it'd be best, for a fighter like Devin to let the chin but chin inevitably get touched up, and it's a fight, it's a title fight, and for you to say, I'm still okay. Oh, I took it, I'm good. You don't want the first time you got to find out if I can still take it and I'm good to be against a puncher. Yeah. So I thought Sandor Martin was the perfect opponent, but he may not defend against him.
Like Sandor Martin, then I looked up.
Or Jack Catterall.
Or Josh Taylor. Like
Yeah.
after, like
Yeah.
just build this back up, and then slowly by next year, maybe unification.
Right.
It's gonna be tough.
Let's get out of here.
Oh wait,
okay.
did we ever get?
We'll
to...
take-
We didn't get to Estrada and Bam and Tio.
I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead.
man.
Let's
go ahead.
Zante,
You know,
okay?
yeah.
Go ahead,
We
Zante.
gotta get out. We got things to do. you
All
know?
right, you're right. But I'll be okay. Let me.
I was just gonna make the
announcement.
announcements. I was just gonna say, hey, next week we got Estrada and Bam getting in the ring Saturday night.
Good fight.
We also got Teofimo
You never worked
Lopez
with
coming
Steve
back.
Claggett? He was out here 10, 15. I just know that. Look, man, Steve Claggett, I think T.O. will get a stoppage in this fight. I think he'll get the 14th knockout of his career. But shout out to Steve Claggett because he came out here 15 years ago to Vegas. Went to the Hit Factory back when Bill Haney owned it. Before it was converted. Before it was converted to the Porter High Performance Center.
I'm gonna buy it.
You know, and he came out here with a dream from Canada, worked his butt off, and it is nice to see a fighter that after 15 years of being a professional is getting his first title shot. He is made to order for Lopez.
Sure.
He's like Floyd would say, straight up and down, no special effects, but he's tough.
Made to order.
He puts his hands up, throws good combinations. You know what I mean? And but Lopez is such a super talented guy, and he loves aggressive fighters.
Yeah.
That's where he looks at his best. Put him up against a mover, and he could struggle. But put him up against someone trying to take his head off and come forward, he looks like one of the best fighters in the world.
I feel like a lot of the young champions right now, they're like a lot of them are counterpunchers.
Yes.
Seem like this fight game is turning into counterpunch.
Who they all look up to. Who was the most influential fighter of their childhood? Floyd.
Yeah, very true.
Counterpuncher. And now even Terrence Crawford is a counterpuncher.
Yeah.
He's busier than Floyd.
Yeah,
Throws more
yeah.
combinations at welterweight than Floyd. But at the end of the day, he's a counterpuncher.
Yeah.
We need a hella performance from T.O.
Even Tank's counterpuncher. He's a knockout artist.
Jermaine Ortiz wasn't the best opponent. Shout out to Jermaine. That you pissed me off that night, bro. I don't know how you felt about it. Pissed me off that night. But T.O. needs a great performance. No more laws, just consistency.
Yeah.
It's the beautiful night. I'll never forget the Josh Taylor fight.
Yeah.
The Lomachenko fight.
Yeah.
Like,
Aggressive guys.
You didn't stay for that one. You didn't stay.
nah, but I went home and watched.
Bro, you should have
Oh,
stayed.
no, you should have seen it on TV. Should have seen it on TV. I was like, damn.
He said, I have a baby over here.
But yeah, the beautiful performances. And I know T.O.'s ready to fight all the big dogs. So it's like, are we up for T.O. Haney next year?
Yeah, I would love that fight. It's just, let's see how Devin looks coming back. Okay. And but of course, that's an inevitable fight that we've been asking for since they were teenagers. So it's got to happen before it's all said and done.
That one's
got to happen.
T.O. Tank?
That is now.
That touched something else. That touched something else.
That came from down here.
Yeah. I want to see that. I want to see that at 140.
That was the boxer Holy Spirit.
Now that's what I want to see. Yeah.
T.O. Shakur?
Yeah, Teal and Tank. I gotta see that.
Okay.
Listen, y'all, download the ProBox TV app. We got ProBox on Friday. Lamont Roach and McCory, McCory in the main event. And then Saturday night we got Estrada versus Bam Rodriguez. And then also that's on the zone. And then on ESPN we got Teofimo Lopez versus Steve Claggett.
Hand in the torch fight, Shawn. Estrada, hand in the torch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hand in the torch.
Absolutely. All respect.
No. You're a Hall of Famer, but
my man a shot. I think Estrada. Yeah,
this is a hand in the torch for a great old lion. Hand in the torch to a great young lion.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be a war.
It's a part of the game.
Yes.
It's a
natural
part of the game.
Who handed you the torch?
No goddamn body. I took all of it.
Hey, man.
Devin Alexander, you know. Devin was like a half era before Shawn.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Motivation before we get out of here. I gotta shout out my guy down in Dallas. What's that?
Paul. That's it. Paulie's the hand in the torch fight.
I gotta shout out my boy down in Dallas, Hollywood DJ Bebe. We had a conversation a couple weeks ago, right before the big fight between Tank and Frank. And the conversation that we just had about Devin Haney is what made me think of this. And this is going to be my motivational message for today. I spoke with Bebe, and he was talking about how black men, how we have mental health issues, and it's really, really common in the black community. And I said, you know why? And I gave him my theory. My theory is that what we've dealt with and what we suffer in terms of mental health dates all the way back to the slavery days. And I told him, I said, think about it. You know, when we were slaves, we weren't allowed to show fear. We weren't allowed to show injury, hurt, pain, suffering, anything of those nature, because if we did, the master would sell us, the master would hurt us, the master would do these things. And so for a very long time, we've been suppressing our feelings, we've been suppressing our thoughts and our emotions and things of that nature, and that has just become a part of our heritage. I don't know if I'm pretty sure you grew up this way, but me growing up, my dad's saying was big boys don't cry. We weren't allowed to cry in my house. I don't know about you, but we just weren't allowed to cry. I'm not saying other communities, they don't have mental health because they weren't allowed to cry.
Allowed to cry.
I'm simply saying that you got to get it out, and you got to talk, and you got to express yourself. And sometimes you may have to cry. I tell my boys, it's okay to cry. It's what you do after you cry. What you do after you let it out. How are you functional? You're much more functional if you let it go, if you let it out, than if you suppress it. So start talking to somebody. Devin Haney, start talking to somebody. Ryan Garcia, start talking to somebody. It's worth it. It will get you away from the darkness that you keep yourself in by holding it in. Talk it out. This is the PorterWay.